Hello and welcome back to the Ham Sandwiches channel. Today we'll be talking about Ballpark again, unsurprisingly, but we'll be focusing on the extra deck and some interesting choices potentially make, some things I think you definitely need to be running, and yeah, just some more suggestions if you're feeling a bit stale in the current format. So we'll start immediately with some links. Links is honestly the most sort of generic sort of things that you'll be playing in your extra deck, the majority of them. So we'll run through some just generic links that you should be playing or consider playing. So with link 2, we've got Masquerena, just solid link 2 for getting stuff off the board, and good for link climbing. Vertic, Anaconda, and of course, whatever you choose. I personally like Dragoon. I think it really gives the deck a very competitive edge and allows you to sort of take out a lot of powerful decks, especially with your Kaijus, because you can burn with Dragoon and sort of easily OTK. Then, of course, the Nightmares. They've been around since Slaves of Destruction. They've always been very useful for me personally. I think definitely running at least a Phoenix or maybe a Phoenix and a Unicorn is always useful. And then link 3, we've got the Blackluster Soldier of Chaos. It's really good because you're obviously running your Kaijus, your Doom Dozers, lots of high level things, so it's easy to make this like indestructible, which is always very nice and hard to get over for a lot of meta current decks that are played. Then the higher link 4s. So I personally like running both of these. I heard a lot of people not really liking Borrow Sword currently, but I think it just adds another potential way to OTK your opponent. And I think obviously any way you can OTK your opponent is always nice to see. So yeah, I do run both of these. Avamax I think is probably maybe the better choice, as you can make it quite untouchable with Masquerena, and you can make it quite easily with once you resolve Ballpark. So it's like sort of a clear up to kill your opponent next turn. So then we've got some less generic sort of links. So Barricade Blocker is a really good one for the deck, obviously, because you're running a very precious field spell, and obviously it's nice to be able to protect it. Also, the effect to ditch a card out your hand to the add back is always nice because you can always drop Gokipole if you need to. But yeah, it's a good one to run. A couple of link ones. Link Spider, obviously you're running normal monsters. It's always good to run this to further extend if you have open two normal monsters. Almirage, fantastic card. I think definitely a one of, maybe two of, if in your deck, simply because it allows you to get your Gokipole and your Resonance Insect off the field. So super starts any combos, starts any sort of OTK potential. Just really, really must one of card in your deck. Possibly one of the most important ones, Insecta Picafolina. I personally run this at 2 in my extra deck. Really great for looking after your resources, getting a Gokipole or a Resonance Insect onto the field to then use their effect. It's just really great, really great card. So definitely a must one, maybe probably mostly likely 2 in your extra deck. Then we have a nice tech, which is also the Earth Charmer. So what this would do once it's destroyed by battle or card effect is you will add a Earth monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck. So most often the target is this, which when a Earth monster is destroyed, allows it to special summon itself and then send an Earth monster from your deck to the grave, which is very nice because then what you can do is if another Earth monster is destroyed, you can summon it, send Gokipole, and then trigger Gokipole's effect, which is very nice. Obviously, with Ballpark, you can make sure that neither the destruction of Elsa or whatever the Earth monster is destroyed to summon this means you don't take any damage, which is very nice. I personally think it's a bit slow because obviously this needs to die, and then you need to have something else to die as well to summon this. So it's a bit clunky, but I get why people want to play it. And then we've got a couple other two sort of easy link 2s, Mrs. Radiant and Defender of the Labyrinth. These both are just for boosting stats and helping OTK potential. I would personally run Mrs. Radiant over the Defender, simply because this adds boosts attack and defense, and if it is destroyed by battle or card effect, it will add you back an Earth monster, whereas this will only add you a normal monster. So it's I'd definitely Mrs. Radiant over, but you can try things out, see how it goes. Both could probably work well. And moving on, we're going to go on to the XYZs. Obviously, because a lot of your deck is level 4, we can run a lot of generic level 4 ranks, so we'll run over a couple of those. So Baguska is obviously a very nice sort of Floodgate one. Abyss Dweller, another Floodgate for the Grave, which is very good. Not so much in the current format in 2021 January, but still a good one to think about always. Cowboy, obviously you're OTKing your opponent, but you won't always get that clean 8k. So Cowboy is always one to think about, and I've always loved running cowboying for game, but it's it's one to cut always if you've got other choices to make. Tornado Dragon, I think this is personally a very important one, just because we back row decks are really sticky things to get over, so definitely a must one of in my opinion. And then some less generic ones. We've got Utopia Double, and the Utopia package, just to helping that OTK. It's obviously it's super easy to clear a board, or potentially leave up one thing with like less than 2,000 attack, and then OTK with your Utopia Double. I think honestly it's actually quite nice if you can run a Zeus as well, because if your Utopia Double is negated somehow by Ash or Imperm or whatever like that, you can then attack anyway, or whatever, and then overlay with a Zeus to try and clear the board. And I think that's quite nice. It's definitely I used to play it a lot, but I've just kind of moved on and got bored of it, changed it up. But it's definitely a thing to think about. Another idea is Link Dragon at Ignista, Light Dragon. Sorry. This is a quite nice one because I think it's kind of like a little Dingirsu, because it if it can protect things. So if your monsters you control will be destroyed by card effect, attach one. It also has an effect to pop things on the field up to the amount of Ignistas you have on the field. So it's always going to be one. So you can pop one thing on the field by detaching. So it's just a little Dingirsu, and it's just kind of nice, a little level 4. So it's just an idea. Then we have number 106, Giant Hand. This is, I think, is a nice sort of tech if you can't really afford a Dragoon package, just because it allows you an on-field negate and easily just mop up of level 4s, which I think is quite nice. I've used this in other decks. I haven't personally used this in Giant Ballpark, but I think it's definitely an idea if you've got that extra deck space and you want to have some sort of negate it once you've resolved Ballpark and can't OTK. Another great idea is the number 27 Dreadnought. So what this card does is it just requires 2 level 4s to overlay, and then if it destroys something by battle, you can special summon from the extra deck 1 rank 10 or higher machine XYZ monster, which is really great because if you think about it, if you summon this with 2 level 4s, battled over something, destroyed something, triggered Ballpark to special your 3 shiny Black Sea Squatters, and then hit for 6k, you can then use this effect to overlay into a Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Oh, that's a long name. And then that will allow you to burn for 2k, which would OTK your opponent cleanly. Which is very nice sort of clean OTK to do. Definitely a sort of thing to think about to try and really just, in that one turn, clear your opponent out. And then we have a few more generic specific rank 4s. And that comes in Digesto Emerald. This is especially a much nicer card if you're playing Tenyi variants, just because it allows you the access to the Link 3 Tenyi Berserker. Special that out of the grave if it's destroyed or whatever. But also it's just another way to sort of recur your resources. I think Insecta Picophyllina is better than this for doing that, but it's another one to consider, and it's just another XYZ. And then of course we've got Traptrix Alomarush. This is a super important one for extending your combos or link climbing, recurring Resonance Insect. It's a really nice card for doing that. I think every single video I'm getting out the Starlight, and I can only apologize. I think from now on I might use the Ultra just because I feel weird now at this point. But yeah, it's a really great extender for the deck. And then we have some XYZs that aren't rank 4s. So we've got Drill, Driver, Vespinato. Occasionally, obviously, your opponent will put down defense things with whatever zero with lower defense than your attack. So obviously, you won't be able to trigger Ballpark. So having the ability to get that damage on board in the form of a piercing damage is very nice, and Vespinato allows you to do that. And occasionally, you can use the effect of, say, Elomerus, and then once you're done with it, overlay into a Vespinato, so you can get full potential of that XYZ monster. Another option is obviously Dingirsu. So we run quite a few level 8 in the deck in the form of Doomdozer and Godala, the Kaijus. So this obviously just allows you potential to protect your entire board and send things if you need to. So I think it's a really good option if you've got that extra deck space and you want something to help you sort of clear boards. But it's definitely a really good option. So finally, we're going on to the last two summoning mechanics. So synchros, a lot of time we don't have a lot of options for synchro summoning because we don't run a lot of tuners. But if you're running, say, a Tenyi variant, you'll have access to the Adhara. And even if you're just running Adhara and the Shooter just for bouncing and potentially Adhara to add it back to hand, it allows you a lot of access to the Natura Beast because obviously a lot of your level 4 monsters are Earth. So it really makes it super easy to make. And, Natura Beast is one of the strongest synchros in the game, in my opinion, for just, like, negating stuff. Now that I've said that out loud, I can think of loads more. But anyhow, I think Natura Beast is still super strong. I actually don't know how strong it is current format, but it's definitely a thing to think about, especially if you like the Tenyis. Then obviously we have fusions. Again, not so many things apart from like Dragoon. However, an old favourite of mine is First of the Dragons. Super easy summoning materials. It's just 2 normal monsters, and it actually makes it super difficult to get over. So obviously it can't be destroyed by battle except by normal monsters, and it's unaffected by other monster effects. So that means Dragoon can't pop it. Boral Savage can't get over. Boral Lord, Boral Load, Boral Sword. Every Boral can't get over it. So it's really nice. Obviously, spells can still pop it and stuff like that. But it's a really sticky one for a lot of decks to get over, and that's quite nice in reality. And it's especially just because it's just a super easy, just poly, and you got with 2 normal monsters on the field, and you've got that. But yeah. That's everything I've got suggestion-wise for you guys. I'd love to hear any suggestions that you might have, any sort of negatives you think that those cards might have. But I think these are sort of solid sort of suggestions, and you can sort of really get some variety in your extra deck. I will put up a picture of my extra deck currently. I run a few things I didn't mention right here. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later, nerds.